Good morning. Today we are working on our last objective of Unit 2. We're in PO19. I can divide fractions by fractions. These last few objectives have been POs. We really need to understand how to add and subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. We will be using that kind of math all the time in the future. So we really need to get in the habit of how we do these. So let's do a quick little review. Addition or subtraction of fractions, we need those common denominators. Then we add or subtract only the top. The denominator stays the same. Bless you. And what is our third step always with fractions? Thank you, simplify. If you do not simplify on the test, it will be wrong. So make sure you simplify. Now, if we look at our multiplication, our steps was, remember, no more common denominators. That is only for adding and subtracting. When we multiply, you multiply straight across. And our last step is always what? Simplify. Okay, so we've got adding and subtracting, common denominators, only add or subtract the numerator, simplify. Multiplication, multiply straight across, simplify. Now we're going to do division. There are two ways to do it, and neither of them actually involve division. So, our first way, well, let's look. We've got three different sets of fractions. 2/3 divided by 4/5, 1/8 divided by 6/7, and 9/10 divided by 6/7. Woo! Mr. Schultz, so fun. And he did this 5 years ago, friends, before it was a trend, so he's a trendsetter. Cool. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to convert to multiplication. So we're going to practice what that means. Converting to multiplication means we need to flip dividing to multiply. So our first fraction stays the same. We flip our symbol from divide to multiply, and then we flip our second fraction to its reciprocal. So you only flip the second fraction, that first fraction stays the same. And then we multiply. So we go straight across, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 4 is 12, hot diggity dog, I get 10/12 for my answer. What was that, Vinny? I can simplify it. What can I divide out of it, Vinny? 2. So if I divided 2 out of the top and bottom, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. My final answer is 5/6. And now when we look at our next fraction, all of a sudden we're not dealing with our 6/7 anymore. Uh-oh. What am I actually multiplying? Because I flip, first fraction stays the same. I flip dividing to multiplying, and what is my second fraction? 7/6, man. So close. So what do I do now? Fernanda? Multiply straight across. 1 times 7 is 7. 8 times 6 is 48. Can I simplify? Well, that's as simple as it gets. Let's look at our next one. What do I set my equation up as? Rhoda?
You need to give the 4 denominator.
I need to give the 4 denominator, so I make it a fraction. Now what do? Jack?
You flip the 4 over 1 around
To be what?
to get 1 over 4.
Okay. What's the rest of my equation look like? Michael?
9/10 times 1/3.
Yeah. So remember, the first fraction stays the same. I flip dividing to multiplying, and I flip my second fraction to its reciprocal. Now what do? Math.
9 times 1 is 10 times 4.
9 times 1 is 9, 10 times 4 is 40. Now what? Jack,
Simplify.
what can I divide out of it, Jack?
9.
Can I divide 40 by 9? No, I can divide 40 by 8, but not by 9. So we have to be careful, double checking our math facts. Be careful with that. So that's our first way of doing it, converting to multiplication. Flip, divide to multiply, flip your second fraction, and then you just multiply like we did in our previous objectives. Our second way is called cross multiplication. Now, you learned this with Mr. Robinson. Some of you are saying, yes, I love it, like Fernanda. Some of you are saying, I don't remember, it was confusing. Do you have to do it this way? No, you figure out which way works for you. I have a feeling I know which way Fernanda's choosing. She's a little excited over here. So Fernanda, if I rewrite 2/3 divided by 4/5, can you tell us how to cross multiply?
Yes.
So walk me through it.
Because you simplify things, you cross multiply things.
So you're talking cross simplification, which is different than cross multiplying. So cross simplification is when you simplify first and then you multiply across, so you don't have to simplify at the end, which is totally fine to do. This is something a little bit different. But I do love cross simplifying also. Michael?
Don't you do the same thing as convert to multiplication except that you go sideways instead of?
You go diagonally. Yeah. So we're gonna go diagonal,
Yeah.
and instead of dividing, we are multiplying. So that numerator's on top here, so 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 4 is 12. Look at that, we get the same answer. We still have to simplify to get that 5, 6. So cross multiplication is when you multiply on the diagonal. The important thing to remember is that that numerator on top in the diagonal, that answer goes on top. So our second set was 1/8 divided by 6, 7.
6, 7.
So we multiplied the diagonal. 1 times 7 is 7. 8 times 6 is 48. We get that same answer. Let's try the next one. 9/10 divided by 4. We need to turn that into our fraction. Then what am I going to multiply? Matt?
1 times 1, and then 10 times 4.
Yep. That 9 times 1 is 9, 10 times 4 is 40. You can decide which way you want to divide. Are you going to convert to multiplication, or are you going to do the cross multiplication? If the cross multiplication confuses you, where do I put which number, what's the numerator, what's the denominator? Just stick to converting to multiplication, where you flip the divide, and then you flip the second fraction. Do we have any questions on this page? on dividing. So let's look at our directions. For the first section, it says show how to divide the fractions with both methods. So we're gonna choose both methods to do this. So I would do, okay, 3/4 times 5/1, multiply across, and I get 18/4. Or I could do my cross multiplication. And I'm going to show my work both ways. So these first 4 problems, you have to do it both ways, and you should get the same answer. When we get to a mixed number, what do we have to do before we can work out our problem? Rhoda?
Make it into the other number. I can't remember.
The improper number, right? We cannot just take that 2 off, divide it, and then slap the 2 back on. Just like with multiplying, we have to change mixed numbers into improper. So you have to multiply the denominator in our whole number and then add the numerator. When we get to our whole number, what do we have to do with a whole number? Fernanda?
You do that as, what?
I need to put a denominator of 1, so it turns into a fraction. Now, here's the fun part. Mr. Schultz says on the bottom, now pick your favorite, but he forgot to give us problems. Or did he? Okay, so I'm gonna give you the problems to do. So you're gonna write these fractions down. So our first set is 3/4 divided by 1/3. You choose which way you're going to work that out. Our next one is 4/5 divided by 3/4. Then we have 5/6 divided by 3 1/3. And we have 5 divided by 2/3. So you need to write those problems down, and then you're going to do that math to find the answers for those 4 problems. And at the very bottom, it says fill in the missing values to make each equation true. So 1/4 divided by what would give us 3/8 as an answer. So in order, Michael, put those down, it's not STEM class. To look at that, I'm going to think to myself, what do I multiply by to get 3/8 as my answer? So what would I multiply 1 by to get to 3? Jack?
3.
What do I multiply 4 by to get to 8? Fernando?
2.
Now, my answer is not 3/2, because that was multiplying. And it says, what do I divide by? So what do I have to do to my fraction, Joy? Flip it. So my answer is going to be 2/3. So figure it out multiplying, and then flip it to the reciprocal. That make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna work on this page. It is a 1-pager. We do have review tomorrow. We're gonna correct it tomorrow. We're gonna review making a help sheet. You can get started on your help sheet. If you finish this page, start on that help sheet. So tomorrow goes a lot easier. Practice test Thursday, real test on Friday. I do have a couple people who did not turn in your math packet number 2. So you're gonna make sure that you have math packet number 2 turned in. Checking Khan Academy, if you have any missing Khan, that is due by Thursday. Practicing those mysteries of the rosary. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.